Cake TV, KPM.
Okay, Chris, we're going to learn division of fraction today. And the learning skill for today is, you can have a look at the slide.
Okay.
Divide fraction of two numbers involving proper fraction, whole number, and mixed number. So this is what we're going to learn today.
Okay, and what does the birthday cake have to do with today's lesson?
You'll be having a problem to identify how many parts of the cake will each of your siblings will get.
Exactly.
Now, we're going to divide the cake now, Chris.
All right. Okay, so how do we do that?
Okay, you have one whole.
Okay.
Okay, one whole is one part of the cake. And you plan to give half of it to your neighbor, am I correct?
Yes, half to my neighbor.
Let's cut the cake into two equal parts.
Okay, so I'm going to use the cake knife.
All right.
And half. Okay.
Very good, Chris. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, the half of it, you're going to give it to your neighbor.
Okay, this half is for my neighbor.
Okay, the another half, you're going to share it with 4 of your siblings.
Yes.
Now, can you divide it into 4 equal parts?
Okay, 4 equal
It's quite challenging, but you have to try.
All right.
Alright.
We shall try. Maybe you can help me at home as well. How do I divide this half into 4 equal parts? Like this?
How do you cut? Crossway.
So,
All right, crossway, they say.
Like this. So this is the
Yes.
first half. And then we're going to cross it this way to have another slice.
Excellent,
over here.
Chris.
Is this correct, sir?
Yes, excellent. You have cut it into 4 equal parts. Okay, now your question is how many parts each kids will get?
Yes.
Okay, the cake is cut into 4 parts, but that is half of the cake. Now we are talking about one whole. A fraction means is a part of one whole. So the part that you have cut is 1/8. Because if the whole cake, you can cut it into 8 parts. So each kid will get 1/8 of cakes.
Okay.
So this is how we cut in the real situation.
Yes.
And now I'm going to show you in standard written method how to solve this problem.
All right, sure.
Okay, the question is 1/2 divide with 4. Okay, let's look at normal division. Okay, for example, 10 divide with 5. So how do we write it in standard written method? So the 10 will be inside and the 5 will be outside. So the same thing I'm going to apply to this fraction. So half divide with 4, the half will be inside and the 4 will be outside. Okay? All right. I'll change the marker so that you can see clearly. Okay, now what am I going to do? I'm going to make this 4 into 1 because whatever number, when you divide with 1, you get the number itself.
Yes.
4 divided with 1 is 4. 5 divided with 1 is 5.
5.
Okay, so I want to make it 1. So to make it 1, I have to times this number with 1/4 so that I can cut it and make it 1. So whatever I do here, I must do it here. So if here I times with 1/4, here also I must times with 1/4. Okay, now I simplify. 4 divided with 4, 1. 4 divided with 4, 1. So this will become 1. So the number, when you divide with 1, is this number itself. So we can change 1/2 divided with 4 to 1/2 multiply with 1/4. So this is how we inverse fraction division into multiplication. So when we inverse, so 1/2 multiply with 4/1 will become 1/4. So usually we don't write these steps. So from this step, we will move to this step. Okay? So here what you have to do, you can simplify. Like here 1 and 2, 1 and 4, you cannot simplify. So whenever you simplify, up and down you must simplify. Down and down you cannot simplify. So when you cannot simplify, we just multiply. 1 times 1 is equivalent to 1. 2 times 4 is equivalent to 8. So the answer is 1/8. This is how we do standard written method calculation.
All right. So that is exactly what Mr. Ragu was explaining earlier. 1/8.
Exactly, with the cake. Yes.
Okay.
So each of your siblings will get 1/8.
Okay,
part of the
understood,
cake.
understood. And what about the neighbor?
The neighbor will get half of it.
And what if I have two neighbors?
If you have two neighbors, you have to cut the cake into 3 equal parts. One whole, you have to
Okay.
cut into 3 equal parts. So each
Okay.
of the part will become 1/3.
All right. So could you maybe show us an example of a standard written method for that?
Okay, Ken.
Yeah.
If let's say you have 3 neighbors, okay?
Yeah.
So 1/3. You're going to divide it into. So you have 1/3 of it, and you're
Yeah.
going to share the 1/3 into 4 siblings.
Yep.
You have cut the cake into 3 parts.
Yeah.
And 1 part is for your siblings, all your
Correct.
siblings. Okay,
Yeah.
now I'm going to divide it with 4. Okay, this 4, so I'm going to inverse it, change it to multiplication. 1/3 times 4 is 4/1. When we inverse, become 1/4. Okay, so here you cannot simplify. 1 times 1 is 1. 4 times 3 is 12. So each of the siblings will get 1/12
Okay.
parts of a
Which
cake.
is a smaller size.
Yes, exactly. Because you divide it into 3 parts.
Okay, okay. So this is so what? Maybe could you share with us a summary of what we have just learned in this segment?
What
sir?
we have learned is dividing a proper fraction with a whole number. So this is how you do calculation. You cannot divide with a fraction and another fraction. So what you do, you have to convert it to multiplication and you have to inverse it. So 4/1 will become 1/4. So this is how the calculation will be.
Okay.
And usually, these are the steps why we inverse. Okay, to explain to you. And usually we will skip this step.
Yep.
So from 1/2 divide with 4 will go to straightway 1/2 times 1/4. The 4/1 we just inverse it to become 1/4.
Didik TV KPM